Hello and welcome to Route 99. This is DPM054. It was a verbal ability sheet. We have here some para-jumble and para-completion type question. The first three are para-jumble question, where we are given these four sentences which, when we sequence properly, would yield a coherent paragraph. So let's read these sentences line by line. In the media, news is broadly categorized into routine and non-routine types. So I don't know about the rest of the sentences, but as of now this seems very much like an introductory statement which introduces the topic that there is a categorization between routine and non-routine types of jobs, right? Okay, let's just keep it. Let's read the next sentences. Once such news breaks, audiovisual media often broadcasted live, resulting in dual engagement. This talks about some specific type of news. We don't yet know what is a routine news, what is a non-routine news. So we cannot say anything specific about it as of now. So clearly 2 does not follow 1. What is 2 saying anyways? 2 says that when this particular type of news breaks, there is a dual engagement. Engagement from journalists who work tirelessly to maintain a steady flow of content, and from audiences who want to stay updated, stay tuned in, seeking to comprehend, discuss the event with those around them. As highlighted by Dane and Cad, non-routine news arises from either disruptive events or celebratory ceremonies that reinforces order. So this is also rather an elaborative statement. We don't yet know what is a routine news and what is a non-routine news. We'll have to clear the definition first, then anything else. So this is also a very wide option. We'll go narrow, then wide. Okay, in that order. So this is also wide. This is also very wide. This can also not be it. While routine news pertains to everyday events without significant societal implication, non-routine news interrupts standard journalism due to its vast social impact. So this is the first sentence after the first one, which gives a little definition of routine and non-routine news, right? So what is routine news? Routine news tackles everyday events without significant societal implication. Non-routine news, on the other side, interrupts standard journalism. Why? Because of its vast societal impact. So 1 and 4 has to go into this order. We'll have to choose between 2 and 3 to follow it, and the order of 3 and 2. Okay, so when such news breaks, which news breaks? Right, चलो मैं यहाँ से मान लेता हूँ कि यहाँ से they took non-routine news. So what about 3 now? Where would I place 3? Because this talks specifically about non-routine news, right? Which can be referenced here in the second sentence. So do you see there's the stronger clue here is that it should be 3-2 as non-routine news referenced here, right? Hence my order is 3-2 and my final order comes out to be 1-4-3-2. Next question. Through sacred arts, artists sought to show God's beauty and thus make it tangible for men. So artist produces sacred art related to God, so that they could show God's abstract beauty in a tangible form to men. The connection between religion and art is manifested through their joint effort to use language of symbol to express the ineffable. So who is using it? So so the religion, and there's a connection between religion and art. So art is manifested through someone's joint effort to use language of symbol, as in to use art to express something which is unexplainable otherwise, which is hard to explain. Accordingly, believers gain a deeper understanding of the mystery, meaning of existence. Throughout history, the mysteries of religion can be seen to have served as an abundant source of inspiration for artists. Okay, so इतना सब पढ़ने के बाद तो only 2 seems to be the introductory statement which starts the discussion that there is a connection between religion and art, how religion stands as an inspiration for art, how artists often draws inspiration from art and produces something from language of symbol which helps people understand something which is ineffable otherwise, as in God. So 2 is my introductory statement. So this starts the discussion, followed by sentence number 4, which says that this is not something new. This has been the case. This has been a ritual since centuries. So throughout history, you will find examples of it, right? And how does it work? Through sacred arts, artists show God's beauty to make it tangible for men, which is otherwise abstract. So 1 has to follow 4, and then we are left with nothing but 3. So my order comes out to be 2, 4, 1, 3. Okay. Conditions in the cargo hold of commercial jets are not always friendly. Temperatures can fluctuate widely, noise can be tremendous, air pressure can drop significantly, and pets that are checked into this dark space beneath the passenger cabin sometimes die. So this is explaining a predicament, that how pets are transported during air travel in a rather uncomfortable situation. They are placed into dark cabins below the passenger seat. Right, they are in a dark space. So I cannot say anything about this sentence as of now. This could be or could not be the introductory statement. Let's move on to next sentence. Air travel is not just stressful for animals. If you think flying is stressful, okay, not just stressful. So it has to be something else as well. So I could find a connection between 2 and some other sentence. If you think flying is stressful, just imagine how the experience must impact an innocent, unknowing dog or cat when packed away in the cargo hold of a commercial jet. So doesn't it seem like that this is starting the conversation, which is later further explained in option sentence number 1, that if you think flying is stressful, just think of the animals who travel by air, and that too in like worse conditions. So I don't know, let's just keep 3 as of now. Let's read 4. It can be dangerous no matter how smooth the landing, timely the departure, or friendly the flight attendant. Okay, air travel is not just stressful, it can be dangerous too. So you see the connection between 2 and 4. So 2 and 4 has to come together. Now I have to decide the order of 3 and 1. So as I said earlier, out of all these sentences, only 3 seems to be like the introductory statement. So if you think flying is stressful, just imagine how the experience must impact an innocent, unknowing dog or cat when packed away in the cargo hold of a commercial jet. Air travel is not just stressful for animals, it can be dangerous no matter how smooth the landing, timely the departure, or friendly the flight attendant is. Right. Uske baad, if you see here, this further explains the condition. After saying that how friendly the flight attendants or whatever it is, the conditions in the cargo are not good. So I cannot place it before 3 as an introductory statement. So it has to come last as my concluding statement. So my order comes out to be 3, 2, 4, 1. Okay, chalo, moving on. So I'll have to fix this sentence into either one of these 4 blanks. You tell your best friend about the strange event you witnessed. Your friend presses you. How do you know it really happened? Okay, you tell your friend about some strange event, and he asks you, he pushes you, how do you know about it, that it really happened? It's natural to answer that you saw it happen, and you would naturally answer that you have seen it happening. What else could be it? How else would you know that this event really happened? But that can't be the full story of how you know. Right. So you see, there's no gap between the two. Like you explain them that you saw it happen, but that cannot be the reason. So there's a clear connection between these two. This is a reasoning, right? This introduces, and this is a positive statement. This is a negative statement. There's a clear connection. There's no point of putting it here. Past seeing by itself does not entirely explain present knowing or reasonable believing. When our past learning matters for what we can be if you see here, it all of a sudden started talking about past learning matters for what we can be confident in the present. Something connects the two. Something connects the two. Something connects the two what? These are the two things. past seeing by itself does not entirely explain present knowing or reasonable believing. When our past learning matters for what we can be confident of in the present, something connects the two is present knowing and reasonable believing. So clearly 3 is my blank. 3 is the place from which this sentence is extracted. Next question. This is the final question in the set. Archaeologists are reluctant to look for something they will never find. Okay. Archaeologists who study Paleolithic stone age tend to ignore clothing. Okay, so one could be my answer. Perhaps this isn't surprising. Okay, so they tend to ignore something, and perhaps this isn't surprising. So there's clearly no gap between the two. Considering not a single shred has survived from this ice age era between 2.6 million and 12,000 years ago. Stone age clothing may be invisible to archaeology, but that does not mean Paleolithic clothing origins cannot be investigated scientifically. Okay. Fossils show humans inhabited ice age Eurasia when the frigid wind chill reduced safe exposure time to an hour or two. Okay, so some fossil fuel shows that humans were in ice age when the frigid wind chill reduced safe exposure times to an hour or two, and those people had adequate clothes, so they had clothes. So it would not be logical to place it here, right? Because there has been already a lot of discussion about clothing, right? It could be either 1 or 3, but 3, if you see here, is more towards the narrow end of the passage, which aligns with the tone of the sentence given in the question, and hence it has to be placed between this and this. My correct option is option number 3. So that was the video, guys. I'll see you in the next one.